What's up, everybody? Welcome to News and Notes. This is Brian Ronovich. Couple things to talk about. Sandra Moone cuts a promo. I say that, tongue in cheek. The Pride Style champion unleashed a tirade on Adriel Noctis, her opponent for Super Bowl Sunday's show Life After Love at the Art Square Theater. Should be a great match. But Sandra did a really good job, and it's good to see her start to develop that part of her, um, the whole wrestler package that she has. We already see that she could compete in the ring. We already know about her intensity. She's had tons of victories, and she's undefeated at Pride Style. She's champion at UGWA. She's wrestling all over the country, just doing great work everywhere. But she really she needed to add the microphone. We needed to hear her talk. We needed to see if she can sell a fight. And as a champion, you have to be able to do that. I mean, you need to bring people in. And, the Noctis Moon match sells itself for plenty of reasons. Obviously, the Laz and Chris Mounts and S4TB, and obviously those two anyway. But she did a good job. It was a good, solid promo. Speaking of promos, too, Alice Blair has been cutting some really good stuff with Las Vegas Murder Scene as the Pride South Tag Champs. I dig it. I've always been a fan of the half Spanish, half English promo. When you get really mad and you just start talking. My wife's Mexican, and sometimes she'll talk to me in both languages in one sentence, two sentences. But it's in a promo and you're upset, or you want to make a point and you do it. It tends to have more intensity for some reason. At least with me, it does. I don't know if everybody else thinks it, but I like seeing Alice do it. She's really coming out of her shell. And her and Laz make a good team. It's really kind of you would think they're both a little bit different, but in a lot of ways, it's like Alice was on. If you saw our Las Vegas Confidential interview with Alice, she talked about their similarities, and when I first heard her, I was like, similarities, but you're starting to see it a little bit more, especially as she opens up. I don't see anybody matching Lazarus when he paces back behind Alice in these promos with the belt in his mouth. He's really kind of a scary guy. So, but they seem to be mixing good. Definitely want to see him get more work, more experience together. Maybe we'll start seeing him pair up outside of Pride Style. Would be good to see. The more time together, the better. Although I think both of them really are focusing a lot on their singles careers, so we'll see what happens with that. With that Pride Style show, I'm looking forward to this. Speaking more on this Pride Style, I really like this Sonico Papa match. It's one of those matches you didn't know you wanted until you saw it, and you were like, whoa, that's a good match. The contrasting styles should make this really good. Sonico flies all over the place. Papa likes a much slower pace, much quieter. He likes to keep things on their feet, use the explosiveness when he needs to, but generally more measured approach. So I think this is going to be a really good match, and Papa needs a win. I mean, he wants to get back into the title picture. Tough loss was Sharp last time. Papa needs dubs if he wants to get back in the ring with Sandra Moone. Really curious to see this dog collar match with Isaac and Noah. This is also on the Pride Style show Sunday. I'm interested to see how this dog collar match works out. It's a good finish to a feud. I like it. There's been a lot of build towards it. Thought they'd have something sooner, but now looks like Pride Style wants to end this completely. I think that's kind of what Dino said in his preview of the show, which is on the site now. This is two young guys, so we'll see how they do this dog collar match. I don't think Noah will have a problem. He seems to dig this. He's a much more intense guy, I guess we'll say, than he used to be. Can Kid Isaac get in there and get it done? It's going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see how it goes. Speaking of Grap House, let's talk about them for a second. They've got this cool thing. It's not really pushing it. We don't get anything from this, but if you like Grap House and they have a real unique culture they've built, they have a season pass. I have no idea how much it is, but check out Grap House. That looks like something you might want to do. Check it out. But speaking of in there, and of course April 8th, Chris Mounts and Adriel Noctis. I'll never forget the ride to Idaho when Adriel went 16 hours or whatever it was to get to Idaho, and they were best friends, and now they're going to have a wrestling match. You got to love the business. You just never know what's going to happen, right? Pretty cool. Got a little bit on this Danny Limelight. If you saw Danny Limelight, he cut a promo. It's up on his social media where he was, and it might even be on FSW's too. It was after his win over Vandagriff, and we've been a lot of talk about who was the masked guy that pushed Vandagriff off the top into the Limelight sleeper, and Limelight became the new No Limits champion. So there was immediately, for some reason, everybody was immediately going, "Oh, it's Damian Drake." I really hope it isn't Damian Drake because I love what Damian Drake's doing, and I don't see any reason for him to change it. Just would like to see him get some wins on Harrison Drive or on a casino show. I would love to see him win that Nevada State title, but we still have G Sharp, and I mean, he's been a great champion too. He's got plenty of big wins of his own. But I was thinking maybe Jordan Oasis, but I don't know. It kind of seems like maybe that ship has sailed. But with Danny Limelight's promo, he referred to it as a plan, which leads, of course, me to believe that it's somebody that maybe he's coming with. And he's done tons of tag teaming with Slice Boogie. If it's Slice Boogie, I think that would be fantastic. I've always been a fan of Boogie's from watching his matches in Santino Brothers, the Santino shows. I would like to see him in here. It would be those two. Limelight's pretty well hated, and I think Boogie would have no problem continuing on with that. And it would bring another tag team to the picture, even if they're not here all the time. It would be nice to see him pop in. A strong tag team champions. They've won titles, I believe, in multiple companies. So Limelight and Boogie would be good. If it's him, I really don't know. There's certainly plenty of speculation, and Boogie's just been one of them. Is this going to be a continued feud with Vandagriff and Limelight? Not sure. Wouldn't mind. Their match was good. Definitely a rematch would be solid. We'll have to find out. I'm not sure if we're going to get any answers on this Friday at Ice Age. Ground Zero Ice Age for FSW. They're back at the arena. Jay Vidal goes to the rafters. He's going to join Chris Bay, Sefa Fatu, Lacey Ryan, Killer Cross, Eli Drake. I think I got them all. So really great for Jay. Jay's always been one of the most popular wrestlers in town since he arrived, back when he was with the Bad Bitches and then into his singles career, and then he had those great matches with Vandagriff last summer. So it's good to see Jay get up there, go up on the Wall of Fame in the FSW arena. So good for Jay. And of course, Lights Camera Faction will be celebrating as they sit at the top of the table right now. I mean, I don't think you can say anything else. Ice Williams, the FSW heavyweight champion, and Fresco Maddock and Watson are the tag champs. I mean, when you have the top gold, you make a lot of decisions. And we still, Action Braxton, I keep mentioning him. The jury's still out on that. So, unless he somehow drops the ball and isn't able to cash out successfully, they could have 3 different championships at their group and make them even more powerful. So they're going to be celebrating and touting, and we're going to hear all kinds of stuff. And so it'll be real interesting to see what happens with the Faction Boys on Friday night. One match I'm really excited about tomorrow night, Friday night, is Jordan Cruz and Devin Reno. Now, Reno provided the assist to help Cruz defeat Primo Henio a couple weeks ago, but Cruz was having none of it. So now these two guys are going to square off. And I haven't seen anything as whether Class is going to be at the show or not. If he is, he's likely ringside with Reno. But Cruz and Class had a match over a year ago before Class left with the shoulder. In fact, before he won the Nevada State title. And they were 2 of the up-and-coming prospects. Class got the win there. Devin Reno's kind of like a protege, I guess, of Class. and we'll see if Devin Reno can get the job done against Jordan Cruz again. I'd like to see Jordan get the win. I mean, this is a really talented guy. He's done some great stuff in SoCal, and for some reason, the success hasn't followed him, at least to what we've seen in Southern California. Because Jordan, in a way, I've complained a lot about Damian Drake in Southern California never getting a win. It, Jordan Cruz, to me, it's the same thing. I mean, he's not getting any love here, and I'd like to see him do it because I think he's really good, very good wrestler. But I love Devin Reno too. I think both of these guys, when you look at the out of town talents working their way through Vegas, both of those guys, obviously in particular FSW, very talented young wrestlers. I think they've got a bright future, and I'm looking forward to seeing this match on Friday. I'm going to make sure I got some. So just a quick note too on LVWS Confidential right here on our YouTube channel. We're going to have Scott Hosey from Power Play Collectibles next week. I think, or excuse me, no, I think we have Dino next week, but we have Scott Hosey coming up with Power Play Collectibles. He's going to be on LVWS Confidential. And we're going to have everybody's favorite ring announcer in Las Vegas, Diana Sandoval. She's going to be on the show talking to Gerald. And I mentioned that we're going to have Dino. Well, Dino's also is in pre-production. I guess is that what they say in the TV business. But Dino Marks is going to have his own show. It's going to be underground centric, I guess, primarily. But whatever Dino wants to do, I'm okay with because Dino's great. So that's certainly something to look forward to. So we've got a lot of cool things happening here on the LVWS YouTube channel. But big shows this weekend. Tomorrow night, FSW, Ground Zero, Ice Age, celebrating the Faction Boys. Oh, one more quick note about that show. There's also an FSW Future Shock Battle Royal. So Jimmy Jack's on the card, Brett the Threat's on the card. They could both be in the match. So there's some youngsters, up and coming talent. Kevin Koa could probably be in that battle royal. So that should be good. Well, the winner faces G Sharp for the Nevada State title. And it's kind of like what Hammerstone said last year, is wrestling me is not a reward. Well, I think that's the same thing. I mentioned it in my article online on the website, the preview, is that I think whoever wins that battle royal, you can just expect the World Fighter to come storming out and going after everybody. Anyway, you guys have a great day, great night whenever you're watching this. Big weekend, Friday FSW. Sunday night, 7 p.m. after the game, I believe. Pride Style comes out with Life After Love. Adriel Noctis, Sandra Moone, main event. Las Vegas Murder Scene defends the tag titles against the Emo Heads. Lots of fun stuff. Have a great weekend. See you soon.